Let me give you another argument out there. When they try to debunk Building 7, they say, oh, there was structural damage. There was a third of the building scooped out. No, there wasn't a third of the building scooped out. We found the video. There was no such thing. Cheyenne Sunder 7 years later in the final report had to redact that. Let me give you yet another example. Earlier today, someone called in about the molten metal pouring outside of the World Trade Center. What did the debunkers originally say? Oh, that's aluminum from the plane. It doesn't matter that Stephen Jones does the experimentation, shows you what molten aluminum looks like, shows you how it's not orange or red or light orange or anything. It's silver. Okay, so what do? They change their argument. All of a sudden, oh, it's not molten aluminum, it's batteries. So those guys have no leg to stand on. I will chew them up and spit them out every time they try to step up to the plate. And I have debated Mark Roberts. You can find that online. But the latest one was last year. The audio quality is poor because it's an internet radio show. But I just decimated James Bennett of Screw Loose Change. He made not one valid point. I owned his ass. So I encourage people to go check that out.
Well, it is the one thing about Stephen Jones is they always say, he got fired from his job, so that's no point looking at his research.
He got fired from his job for speaking out. I mean, they've tried to say that, the Dutch gentleman that saw Building 7 and said absolutely had to be a controlled demolition retracted his statement. He never retracted his statement. It's just totally and completely made up. He was contacted by local media later that year where he stood by his statement that it had to be a controlled demolition. Let me give you yet another example. One of the little rats that posts over at that Screw Loose Change is a young punk named, quote-unquote, R.K. Owens. You know, he owns people. Give me a break. Yeah. This little 19-year-old, I ended up cursing at him. I got really upset last year. He came up to me and he was trying to make point after point after point. Now, he obviously thought his strongest point after I just used and abused him. I mean, you just look at the comments online. There's some harsh language in this thing, so, I caution you if you watch it. If you can't take... Yeah, well, of me reacting to the guy. But he puts out this video last year. At one point, I say that there was the head of FEMA in New York stated that there were 2,700 degree temperatures at the base of the World Trade Center. Now, I say in that it just came out a couple weeks ago. In fact, it was reported in the first 2 weeks after 9/11. It was on September 16th, 2001. Now, this article was not actually available online, or at least people didn't think it was because it was hard to search for. I had gotten the hard article out of New York Newsday in basically researching for Fabled Enemies and Loose Change. I had the hard article. I had scanned it in. So I wasn't aware that there was this video of him out there for a minute, showing me, and then he runs a laugh track. There's no 2,700 degree temperature. I contacted Jason Bermas. He couldn't provide the information. So I saw this thing, and I'm like, I know I have this article. So I go and I find the article, and it is a real article, and it's a guy named James Baker Sky. It's spelled like it sounds, Baker Sky. He readily admits that it has an incineration type effect and that there are 2,700 degree temperatures at the World Trade Center. I post the article. What does he say? It's a fake. I forged it. Even though it was reprinted in 2 other articles and was able to be found online. But I'm the liar. That's what the debunkers do. So, I would encourage your friends to go check out my debates. You got anything else for me, Brian?
Okay. Yeah, actually, just a couple more quick things here. I just wanted to say, when I first came across Alex Jones there, it was one of his rants where he's talking about bankers wanting to kill everyone, and he was so angry you could, hear the foam coming out of his mouth and everything. Mm-hmm. And I just stumbled on that with a couple friends, right? And they're laughing away. And that's one of the things that made me look into what he was actually talking about some more. And
that proves my point from earlier. Different strokes for different folks. Your friends may have been laughing, but you took it seriously, and you've expanded your information, and you looked up what he says. I tell people, listen, don't just listen to what I say. Verify it for yourself. I will show you the documentation. I will point you in the direction of the information. It's up to you to do your own investigation. Brian, I thank you for the call. Any comments on that, Aaron?
No, I think you pretty much said it there.
All right. Do you want to get out of here? I know you got a lot of work to do, brother.
No, but I was wondering if you told them about that George Bush statue in the airport.
I was in the middle of talking about it, but Alex cut me off. Yeah, over in Houston International Airport, there is this 8-foot George Bush with Winds of Change is the book he has on, and his jacket's swinging in the wind. It's just this memorial of how great he is. And right in front of him is a pentagram with the Pentagon shape in the middle, and then the the Arms of War thing.
Yeah, it's kind of that war memorial wreath setup that they always have in front of these gods and goddesses, and obviously are basically deifying.
It's out of control.
A living person. Of course.
Yeah, of course. Oh, he's so great. Jacob in Kansas. Jacob, you're on the line.
Hey, Jason. Hey, Alex.
How you doing, sir?
E-cigarette, the smoking everywhere when you guys were affiliates with them.
Mm-hmm.
I really wish that Jim Tucker would at least give it a try if he hasn't already. After 20 years of smoking cigarettes, I have cut down to about 2 or 3 little Pinner cigarettes a day. And not even trying. It doesn't have any...
Hey, let me give you a suggestion, because one of my buddies was rocking the e-cigarette when we went to Philadelphia, and you know how you have to buy the little cartridges on the thing? You can actually get the liquid online for much cheaper in a droplet box, and then you can reuse the cartridge. Oh, you're using it. Yeah. No, it's great.
No, no, not yet. I just started, and I realized that you can save a lot of money by buying the liquid and blank cartridges. Some of them have like double pack cartridges where you can have like 2 packs of cigarettes worth in one little cartridge. It's really easy. It doesn't take a mechanical engineer to do it, and I'm getting my mom off of them. She's going to save 5 to 25 years off her life for doing it, and it doesn't even hurt to switch. You just do this, and when you want to just puff on a cigarette, but not really needing the nicotine. They have high, medium, low, even high extra strength, probably for Jim. Anyway, I'm in the largest computer clan in the world. The clan, saying not KKK, but it's the largest worldwide group of gamers.
Okay.
And we play about 4 different types of games, and my name online is Firecracker with a little asterisk InfoWars. They would not let me put InfoWars.com on the end. And whenever anybody strikes up a conversation, because there is voice comms in these games.
Yep.
Oh, man, we can go on and on and on and on.
Well, you know what? That's why they are tracking it. They have restricted certain names on you. Some people can't register 9/11 truth names. It's absolutely ridiculous. And now with Project Natal and, basically a biometric camera in your home hooked up to the internet 24/7, it's going to take the spying to another level. And you better believe that Microsoft is intricately involved in the military-industrial complex. Jacob, I got to jump. I got so many callers. We're going to jump to Jake in New York. From Jacob to Jake. What's up, Jake?
Hey, what's up? Jason, I'm a fellow upstate New Yorker. I'm from Rochester, and I once got a speeding ticket in your hometown of Catskill. And,
okay.
It wasn't that cool. But anyway, I was wondering about like the greater New World Order theory, and what is there any evidence to support that? Is there any evidence to support that there's anything behind the New World Order kind of pulling them together and forcing them to work together?
Well, here's how it works. In my new film, I'm really going to try to take on this question. That's what I'm trying to do. There are definitely, and Aaron will attest to this, there are definitely separate factions within the New World Order, different visions. But the overall goal is a one world government, control over the populace. Now, how it's controlled and who's in charge is almost up for debate at some level. Now, is there evidence? Oh, my God. I mean, wait till you see this next film. I've got everyone from Madeleine Albright, Bill Clinton, George Bush Sr. I've got Richard Nixon talking about the New World Order in the 70s.
Doesn't exist, Bermas.
The thing is that it's like a cartel. It's different crime families getting together and vying for power. And at the end of the day, they all want the same thing, but they all want to be the top dog and have their philosophy be the one that's followed. So you are going to have small skirmishes in between, but
they believe that is their survival of the fittest again, that offers competition to their system, and so creates that synthesis.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just going in to cut some voiceover tracks. I wanted to say goodnight to everybody and thank you guys for doing a great job on the trip and a great job this evening.
Thank you, sir.
This interruption brought to you by InfoWars.com. And I've actually been up here working too much this weekend. So
yeah, I know. You called us yesterday and you were in the office. People don't believe Alex Jones works 7 days a week. If there were 8 days in a week, he'd be working 8 days a week. I promise you.
Yeah, but only because we're being encircled by these parasites And we can't let these sons of bitches win.
No, I agree.
This is a vicious tyranny. These are killers.
Yeah, no, I hear you. You know, I'm in the office 7 days a week as well, or I'm on the trips. And I mean, I love being here because it is so important. And the New World Order is real. Look out for it. Invisible Empire, A New World Order Defined. If you want to know the history of the New World Order, you want to see the publications that have been around for over 100 years, the ideal sets, the quotes, the goals, the apparatus.
There's no elite, Bermas. Elites only help people.
I'll tell you what, that's what it was like being in the George Washington Masonic Memorial. Oh, the Masons build hospitals.
Oh.
I mean, this guy's a 32nd degree Mason, and he's straight up lying to us and telling us that the paintings on the wall have small imperfections, so those people can't copy them to get the sacred information. So later on that evening, we meet up my friend who is a Mason, and he's one of the guys I pledged with, and I tell him that story, and I'm like, give me a break. And he's like, well, you know, sometimes we tell non-Masons things that aren't necessarily true.